Now, I know this is a YouTube video, but I would like to speak to you as if I were speaking to you. Yes, you, in person. It's good to talk to you. I don't know how long you've been subscribed to this channel. It couldn't have been more than 5 years because the channel will turn 5 years old in March. I started it in March of 2015. Just for fun, to tell you the truth. I actually tried to find some success on YouTube in the years before this channel, and it just wasn't working, so I gave up. Started this channel just for my own amusement and my own satisfaction, and inadvertently it found an audience. And for the last 4.5 years, I suppose, I've been treating it as a full-time job, giving it enough of my time and my energy as a person would give a full-time job. And the reason why is because I had to. I just had to. To be YouTube in 2015 and 2016, that was... Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I'm not editing this audio. I'm just doing this in one shot. YouTube in 2015 and 2016 was just becoming a platform where more and more people were coming to find commentary. YouTube had been a lot of things in the years before that, but in the middle of the 2010s, it started to become a place where people were going to get their news and their information and their analysis and their commentary. I guess they always were, but that was when that type of content started becoming a very big draw. And for a guy who was in his early 20s or mid 20s, I don't know, whatever you call 23, who always had an opinion and had his nose in the news and knew how to video edit and didn't mind public speaking and all that, I had to be a part of it. There was no way I could sit on the sidelines while other people were, from the comforts of their homes and for free, practically speaking, contributing to conversations on a global scale. I had to be a part of it. I had to make my own contribution while I had the chance, because I didn't know. You never know how long these things are going to be around. I don't know if YouTube is going to be around in another 5 years. I don't know how our society is going to change. I know I'm going to get older, and it's possible that over the years I might care about these, issues, quote unquote, less. So from 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, I ran this channel all by myself, and I had a blast. I did pretty much everything I would want to do with it. I talked about all the things I found interesting. I talked about them in a way that I thought was productive. I was given many opportunities to do things that I didn't think I was ready to do or wouldn't be right for me to do, like being on camera, for instance, and putting sponsorships in the videos. This video is brought to you by yada yada. I'm happy to say that over the years of running this channel, I've been pretty stubborn and managed it the way that I wanted to. That's not the problem. The problem is being motivated. And all throughout last year, throughout 2019, I kept catching myself running into a wall. Early in 2019, I caught myself for the very first time ever considering abandoning the channel. For the first time ever. It was weird. And then it happened the second time ever. And then the third time ever. And the fourth time ever. I kept running into the same wall. And then when the year ended, I hit that wall hard, man. And I had to... I decided that... well, I didn't want to just hang it up right then and there. I decided that I would make just one more video, which is the other one that I uploaded today. It's about Friday. Don't ask me. I'm not going to explain why I made that video in this video. But I decided when last year ended and this year began that I was just going to make one more video because I didn't want to just cut and run just because I lost all my motivation and the joy of creating content on this platform. And it was a really tough process making this last video, man. I just had no gas in the tank. I pushed myself very hard, very consistently, for a long time. In the last 4.5 years, I never really gave myself a break. Every day, I would do something for this channel. Every day, I would feel obligated to build it. Because I was chasing a dream. And I guess you know what that's like. Even if you never actually did it yourself, you understand the concept. You know what it's like. That if you see something and you want to catch it, you run at top speed. You run as fast as you can until your legs go numb, until your heart's ready to jump out of your chest. If you have a dream, you want to catch it. Well, I ran at top speed for a long time, and I sure enjoyed the chase. But over the last months, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months or so, I just started running out of breath. It gets hard. It gets harder to romanticize this stuff, to see yourself as somebody who's chasing a dream after a while, and eventually you stop seeing yourself as some, wide-eyed nut who's chasing a dream, and you start to see yourself as someone who's stuck in a rhythm, who's wasting their time, and who's not really fulfilled with what they're doing. There are a lot of things about doing this job that are not rewarding. It's a very lonely occupation. I run it by myself. I'm not interacting with anybody in person. I interact with you, but that's not in person. Financially, the channel never really caught a big wave. I don't want to get into any specifics. I'm not going to, but it's never been very profitable. Just so you know, there's all sorts of illusions about how much YouTubers make, but it was okay because I was building it. I was chasing something. A lot of the hard work that I was doing over these last handful of years was based on the belief that it would eventually pay off, that eventually there would be that big wave and this channel would catch it, that it would eventually hit a million subscribers, and that hopefully this guy who's editing Post-it notes on a bulletin board could be making some decent money. I believed it. I believed that was possible, and that was the motivation to keep going. I never really was satisfied with this channel, but that was okay because I believed that eventually I would be. Well, eventually it does need to pay off. Eventually, you do need to feel like all that hard work was worth it. And when that doesn't happen, I won't even say that when you feel it should happen, because that's not for me to decide. I'm not going to say that I think it should have happened at this time or that time or by this point. That's not for me to say. This is not a thought, this is a feeling. Eventually, I just didn't feel motivated and excited to make any more, to do this, to make any more arguments. It's all very simple, and it's all very natural. You do anything for a very long time because you, not just because you love it, but because you think it's your future. That's a very, what do you call it? It's thrilling. It's the sort of thing that you'll look back on your deathbed and smile and feel good knowing that you took a chance in life. But in the moment, you can only do it for so long without a payoff before you just are not happy doing it anymore. And even if you're not a YouTuber, I think you can appreciate, I'm positive you can appreciate if you're not passionate doing something like this, you have to stop. You have to stop. Maybe you've seen a YouTuber or two who kind of lost that spark and kept going anyway. And it's not a pretty sight. You have to, it's like anything else, it's like if you're a painter or a musician or even something a little less creative, but still something that requires passion and creativity, like being a teacher. if you lose your passion for it, you have to stop. You can't just you can't just keep pushing yourself down the track on fumes. It's just not fair to you, and it's not fair to anyone who's paying attention to you. So what I need to do now is to just take a holiday, if you will, because I really haven't taken one. In the last 4.5 years, I never gave myself more than a day or two's rest from this channel. And in hindsight, that wasn't healthy. And you can learn from my mistake if you'd like to. If you're ever doing something steadily, if you're grinding away and hustling every single day and you never give yourself a break, it will come back to bite you. I can tell you that now from personal experience. I know it's hard, especially when it comes to something like this, something that trying to build your own business. There are people out there who have it in them, man. People like Elon Musk and Steve Jobs. I don't know how Walt Disney, I don't know how they did it. Well, I guess I have some idea. I did it for a little while myself, but you just have to give yourself a break now and then. And I didn't do that. And now I'm just no longer happy doing what I'm doing on this channel at all. I just feel the joy is gone, and now I just feel frustrated and disgruntled and stressed. And so what I'm going to do is back away from counter arguments for a couple months. I don't know. Please don't quote me on that. I don't know how much time I need, but I'm going to take some time to decide whether or not I want to do this anymore, ever again. Which, I'm sorry to leave you hanging off the edge of a cliff. You probably clicked on this video expecting some sort of a conclusion. Well, of course you did. The channel's called Counter Arguments. Every video ends with a conclusion. This one does not, unfortunately. I don't know if this is something I want to do ever again. I just know I can't do it now. So I'm going to take some time to decide if I want to be a YouTuber at all, anymore, ever. And I'm sure you can understand why I'd want to take some time to think that through. And once I've made my mind up, I will come back and I'll make a video that has an answer. Whether I will, whether I want to full-time, or whether I will continue but only part-time, without really treating it like a business, just like a hobby where I post a video every now and then, or maybe I'll come back and say, no, actually, I found happiness when I left this thing, and I don't want to come back again. I know I don't talk about myself on this channel much, and that's deliberate. It's because I don't want to. I'm a private guy. I haven't appeared on camera yet once. I don't intend to. I don't like talking about myself in public. My personal life, any sort of intimate details when I'm out in public, out at a pub, let alone on the internet. So if you probably you probably would like to feel some sort of a personal connection to the person you're hearing talking to you right now. You don't even know my name. I can't help you there because I still am a private person, and I still am someone who couldn't quite decide if I wanted to be a public figure through this channel, or if I wanted to just abandon it and retreat to private life. This whole time I've been running this channel, this whole time, I was just sort of dangling between those two possibilities. I couldn't decide. I never could decide if I wanted to be a public figure and come out in the open and be on camera and tell you my name and, tell you about myself, or if I just wanted to ditch this channel and to retreat into obscurity. I still don't really know. All I know is that I have to get away from this channel now for a little while. This is a common tale. You can probably think of other content creators who had to do this too, who decided to do this, to step away for a little while. And maybe some of them came back, and others didn't. In this case, I don't know whether I will or whether I won't. I will come back with an answer. Like I said, maybe in a couple of months, I'll come back and tell you what I want to do next. But for now, before I go, a a couple of things. One, I'm going to host one more live stream this Sunday. I host live streams every Sunday, and I'm going to do one more this Sunday, along with the members only live stream after that, and then I'll cancel the memberships. So I'll see you guys at the end of the week. Other than that, I can't think of anything original to say. The only thing that comes to mind is thank you. And you probably would say, no, thank you, or it's nothing to it. And I understand. If you're here, if you subscribe to this channel, you're not really doing anyone a favor. You did it because you wanted to. You found a channel that had videos on it that you like to watch, and that had some value for you. Well, that's what I tried to do. And so it just brings me happiness knowing that I did that. Even if I don't feel any more happiness doing it anymore, but you better believe that I still carry around a ton of happiness knowing that I did make something that was valuable to others. So even if thank you doesn't quite make sense, I don't really care. Thank you. When you showed up at this channel for the first time and watched your first video, I thank you for sticking around. If you subscribed, I thank you for wanting to see what I was going to do next. If you were a member or commented in the super chat, I thank you for your disposable income. Well, more than anything, I'm grateful that I'm grateful that the things that are important to me, being informed, having discussions, trying to make a good argument, to make some sense, to arrive at a conclusion that you think makes sense and to be able to explain why, those are the things that are important to me. And so, if it's important to you to have a good conversation, to get along with people, to try to arrive at a reasonable conclusion, and to be able to explain why, I think that's what I'm most grateful for. That's something that's much bigger than this channel. That's bigger than YouTube. I mean, that's on a scale as large as this species. We're all in this together. As long as this earth sustains life, we either will or will not get along. So if it's important to you to try to express yourself and communicate in a way that will make it more likely that we all get along, I'm grateful for that. More than anything else. More than anything that I could have gotten out of this. I'm grateful that it's important to you to be a good communicator. It ought to be important to all of us. It's not, and it maybe never will be, but it's good that it's important to some people. It's good that it's important to you. I'm glad that it's important to you, and I hope it always is important to you. And I hope it's always important to me, regardless of whether or not I'm making videos. Regardless of whether or not I'm a YouTuber, I'm a content creator. I hope that's always important to me, to you, to as many people on the face of the earth as possible. So, okay. It's getting a little too grand. I didn't want to grandstand. I didn't want to be dramatic. I know I'm a little emotional given the circumstances, but I don't really want to get all uppity and melodramatic on you, because you're not used to that. You're not used to hearing that. I'm not used to being that way myself, and I don't want to start now. Just wanted to tell you what's on my mind, what's in my heart, what I'm going to do, and why. So, for the last time, at least in this video, thank you. You'll hear from me in a little while. In the meantime, you take good care of yourself and everyone you know, and keep searching YouTube for other content creators you like. Lord knows that there are plenty of them. There are plenty of talented people making valuable content. So, if you're not going to get it from here anymore, go find it elsewhere. There's always something else to be found out there in cyberspace. There's always something else good to be found on YouTube. There's plenty of junk, there's plenty of garbage, but there's plenty of value as well. So go look for it. I hope you find it, and I hope that it makes your life even better than it was before you found it, because that's the idea. I'm going to go and start my holiday now. Wish me well, as I wish you well. Scott, lead us out.